we, as you will know, we're in a partnership with Sanctuary. We're going to become a subsidiary of the Sanctuary Group, and we've been doing a lot of work, again, as many of you well know, around making sure that the fit between ourselves is right. But really importantly, and this has been the message from me from the start, is in order to make sure that you have good, high quality, invested homes, not just this year, not just next year, but way, way into the future. That's my priority number one for yourselves. And that's the purpose of going into the Sanctuary Group. So you can see on the slide there, we put an ask together and Sanctuary made an offer. So we were asking for a total of £115 million over the next 30 years in our 30-year financial plan, which is what we need to do as a sector. And we're regulated, aren't we, as well? And I can hear you say, wow, yes, 30 years, but what about next year? What about this year? What about the current, the year after that? So we're working with them, but we need to have a long-term financial plan. So this was our ask. You can see there's quite a lot in there for all sorts of things, but it's all predominantly about your home. Your major repairs, your major investments, our fire strategy, our connected call, that's our warden call, helping us to get to zero carbon, all of those things. This is what we needed, and Sanctuary said, yes, we'll give you that. We'll also give you some more, because we'll try and speed up some of those programs. We'll make sure that you get real good value for money because of the size of Sanctuary. So that's what we've been doing. That's been decisions now. I'm going to say a little bit about the board later on, but our organisations have made decisions that will go ahead. We've got some financial work still to do, but we're all committed to going ahead, hopefully becoming a subsidiary by the 1st of December. So I'm going to ask Catherine. Catherine's going to do a few more slides. I'll come back, and then we'll get Nathan and the team up just to say a few words. And if you've got any questions in between, we'll stop and ask for questions as well.
So just a little bit more around what we can expect over the coming years. So we've spoke, and I know when Craig was here as well, he answered questions about what it might be like in terms of repairs, what it might be like being in the Sanctuary family, as it were. There's an opportunity because Sanctuary are much, much bigger than Johnny Johnson, so we're going to be able to make some considerable savings by joining their group, initially around repairs and maintenance, so that's really good news. When we talk about fireworks, and not as in, because November the 5th is only around the corner, but in terms of works to properties, Spey House is a really good way to think about this. So if you don't live at Spey, as you've walked through Spey, you can see that their work has been completed. This scheme has been what we call regenerated, so all the work has been done to the doors, all the work has been done around compartmentation, so it's had a substantial investment, but we know that there are many other schemes that we want to do similar works to. Now, I'm sure if you're a resident at Spey House, you love where you live now and you've seen a massive improvement into what your scheme was before. However, we know there are some more schemes to do. So we've done others. There's not just Spey, we have done others as well. And in the northwest, if we think of Heightside, in Yorkshire and Derbyshire, if we think of Wesley House, Boomer Court in the northeast. So we've been on with other schemes. We need to accelerate that. So part of the ask for Sanctuary was to enable us to do that, because we can get there quicker working together than we ever could do on our own. So that's really, really important. So we want to look forward to that. We know that the asset management team are working incredibly hard at the moment, doing the work this year. That's within our budgets. So we know recently we've finished doors and compartmentation to Park House in Droylsden, and there are other schemes on site at the moment. I know the Bass House over the other side of Manchester is currently going through their work as well. So there is work ongoing. I don't want you to think that there isn't anything going on. There is. But like everything, somebody's got to be first, somebody's got to be in the middle, and somebody comes towards the end. That's how it works. progress. So we're really excited. We think we can offer some great value into the partnership. It's not just going to be a one-way ticket where they give us money and they take nothing back. And I'm sure Nathan will talk about that, and Rob. You know, they've walked in here today, they can see the desire of what we want to achieve. We just want to be able to get there quicker. So hopefully with the financial backing that we're going to get, we can work towards that in the next few years. So there's work to be done, there's procurement to be done to understand the what and the how, but that's the work that's going on in the background. So really, really excited over the next couple of years to bring our schemes to the standard we want them to quicker than we could have done on our own. Okay. So thinking more about progress of how we've managed our message. So Yvonne asked for a show of hands earlier around who'd met Craig. I know Craig's been about in the North East as well, and he's coming to Yorkshire and Derbyshire. I think it's the 2nd of November, which will be fab, so he can meet some residents in that region, because we like to take it across all three. We've also made sure that for people who can't be involved in a face-to-face way, we've offered a digital way. And we know we've had over 80 people attend sessions online, because I know especially since the pandemic, that's been ramped up, and we've had a bigger digital offer and a bigger area of resident engagement where people have been able to join us in a digital way. But we've not excluded anybody, and we've made sure that we've written out to people as well, so explaining what's been happening, giving people notification of what they can expect to happen next. So you've had letters as well, personal letters direct to all residents, despite the tenure, whether you live in an independent living scheme, whether you live in a general let accommodation, or you're actually one of our leaseholders. We've made sure that everybody's been kept up to speed, because that's really important. And you've been able to offer comment, you know, and say how you think you're going to be affected, and making sure that we hear your voice through what's been that period of where we started our conversations with Sanctuary, and as Yvonne says, hopefully we can get to that point where we join as a subsidiary from the 1st of December. So I think that's where we're up to from a resident perspective. Did we want to do one more slide?
One more slide. Yeah. So we've got a fair few things still to go through, and I know some of you have questions. It's like our colleagues have questions as well. When will we do this? When will we know that? What will happen to this? What will happen to that? There's still a way to go. So there might be things that, again, we can take today. We might not be able to answer them all, but there's a fair few things that are going off in the background. So in terms of our board, so our board made... our joint boards have made a decision that that's what they want to continue with doing, working towards this partnership. We've got some work still with lenders to do. There's lots of formalities that we have to go through. And we also are having next month, we've just literally, probably today, this morning, confirmed the date where there'll be some board recruitment, and then we'll go into other things. So there's quite a bit of things on here that we've still yet to do. And then what we're trying to do as well, we're starting some discussions literally this week, but it won't be the details. So I wish I could give you a big plan that said, yeah, here's when you'll be fast-tracked into whatever, or this is when we'll be coming to be on site. We won't have that for a good while, but we're starting to plan what things could look like in the future. And there'll be lots more happening the other side of Christmas, where we hope to host some more forums for you to help influence and shape what the future of Sanctuary, with JJ in as a subsidiary, can look like.